Jade here from The Hungry Vegan. Today I'm going to talk to you about transitioning over to a raw diet. I've recently started a raw private group on Facebook, which you're more than welcome to join. I'll have the link for it in the description. And quite a few people have asked me what would my advice be for transitioning over to a raw diet. So I've put a few different things that I think are important for people, and just to give you some ideas about how it worked for me. Now, always remembering that everybody is different, and what works for me may not work for everyone else. May work for some but not for somebody else. We've always got to listen to our own bodies and what works for us best, and do what's best for us. But here's what I believe can help other people. Okay, number one point. Ask yourself why you're doing this. And I think that's extremely important, to ask yourself why you're doing this, because quite often we do things and we really don't know why we're doing it. It might be, well, I think I want to try raw, but have that idea in your head. For me, this has been something I've been trying to get to for quite a few years. So don't think, oh my goodness, I keep failing all the time. Oh, it's taken me a long time to just get where I am at now. And so it's not an easy feat. I think that we are so programmed to eat cooked food that it's just such a part of us. And I'm in summer here at the moment, so it makes it relatively easy. I don't know how I'm going to get through the winter yet either. So, you can only do the best you can. But ask yourself why. For me, it has always been in my mind that it's always the pinnacle of health, and I'm hoping that it's going to completely fix my skin problems. I've had adult acne my whole adult life, and I'm 38 now, and I've also had this rash on my chest that I can't get rid of. It has been clearing. It's not completely gone yet, and I'm on day 27, so it's not like it's just one of those things that has gone overnight either. But you've got to have that reason. If you're looking to heal your body through sickness or illness or whatever, make sure you understand why you're doing it, and keep that focus in your head as to why you're doing it. If you're looking for a short-term weight loss fix because you're going to a ball or a dance or a wedding in a month's time, this isn't for you. Go to the chemist and buy your quick fix stuff or whatever it is. There's enough products out there. I believe weight loss, and the only way I ever teach weight loss to people, and I've been in the weight loss business for 6 years, the only way I ever teach people to lose weight is to understand that it's a lifestyle. Being healthy is a lifestyle change. I don't believe in any quick fixes. So I just want to make that really clear. Okay, and I think we need to, in order for people to think that they want to lose weight, when we're healthy and when we're eating the right things and when we're loving our body, the weight will follow. And that I promise you, I've seen it time and time again. Okay, number 2, this is really important. Are you a vegan? Because if you're not a vegan, I suggest you start transitioning into a plant-based diet and being a vegan. Watch Earthlings, watch Cowspiracy, watch Lucent, watch all those documentaries and understand what a vegan lifestyle is, and transition into a plant-based diet. That's essential, because too many people, if you go raw and then you say, oh God, I can't handle this, I need cooked food, and then you go and buy a burger, you're eating dead animals. At least if somebody's vegan, if you fall off the perch and you go back to cooked food, at least you're eating vegan food. And I can't stress the importance of that enough, and I'll make that clear to anyone, because my whole mission is to spread the vegan message. So you need to be a vegan. Number 3, eliminate all refined foods from your diet, including oil. So we need to get rid of all our processed food. If you've got any chips or, salty biscuits, sugary biscuits, whatever junk you've got in your household, get it out. Even your fake meats or whatever it is that you buy, get them out, because you want to be preparing to become a healthier person. You can't just say, I'm going to go raw. You are going to detox so heavy that your body's not going to be able to handle it. So let's just start getting the junk out of our diet first, so you can slowly ease yourself into this detox process. Because believe me, I detoxed heavily years ago. I didn't really detox too much going into this transition because I'm extremely healthy. But I detoxed extremely heavy, and it's bad. It's not good when your body's full of toxins and poisons. So it's really essential. Start pulling all that crap out of your body and your household. And don't be surprised as when you are getting yourself off these refined foods and caffeine, get rid of it. You will experience headaches, and you might experience tiredness, nausea, even breakouts, all these kind of things. They're all detox. Don't stress over it, it will pass. If you're heavily detoxing, which you shouldn't when you're just pulling this out, it's completely different when you're moving into a raw. If you're heavily detoxing, I know years ago on a juice fast, I detoxed so heavy I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. I was covered in sweat. It was really bad. So be prepared. Different things can happen, and it depends how unhealthy you were. I was extremely unhealthy. So that's really essential, is to pull all the crap out of your life. Number 4, slowly pull any of the grains out of your life. So if you're still eating your whole grain rice and your whole grain pastas and things like that, I've got nothing against grains. I'm not an anti-grain person, but you're moving into a raw lifestyle, so you won't be having these. Slowly start getting these out of your diet to make the transition that little bit easier. That's how I did it, and that's what worked for me. Step 5, download a tracking app. Now, I'm familiar with 2. I'm familiar with Chronometer, and I'm also familiar with MyFitnessPal. But there's plenty out there. Choose one that you suit. If you're using one that you like, use that. That's fine. Change the macros over onto it, so you're having 80% carbohydrates, 10% protein and 10% fat. If you want a little bit less fat, that's no issue either. You can go down as low as 5%. But I suggest, if you're very new to this lifestyle, keep it at 80-10-10, because it's really important, I think, at this point in time, to make sure you stay satiated. And it'll help the transition that little bit more when you're having the overt fats in your diet. Okay, number 6, start to have raw until dinner. So at this point in time now, we should have the grains out of your diet. So don't think you're going to have raw until dinner and then start going hoeing into all this grains. We want to be ultimately filling up during the day on the fruit and your greens, and really starting to transition your mind into changing into a raw lifestyle. So I would suggest for dinner having some steamed vegetables if you still need that cooked food fix, or a soup or something like that. If you still feel like you need potatoes or sweet potatoes, still have them, because I think it's important to do what's working for you. And if you have a lunchtime or something like that where you think, oh my goodness, I can't get through this day, go and have a warm vegetable. If you need to have a sweet potato or something, have it. Don't think, oh my goodness, that's it, I'm a complete failure. Do what you have to. And I mean, even if you have to start with just having breakfast, all fruit, and then by lunchtime you need to move in and having a warm food, do it. Just crowding your warm food as much as possible out with the raw food. Okay, so do what's working for you. And I can't stress that enough, because too many people give up because they follow people that are saying, but I do it this way, bang, bang, bang. And you say, well, I can't keep up with what they're doing. They're up at this elite level and I feel like I'm here and I'm trying to get there. Do what's best for you. Okay, number 7, start to eliminate potatoes from your diet if you're ready. And only have the steamed veggies if you need to. Remembering each time we start to move into these kind of things, we're just doing it gradually. You don't have to do my whole list in a week and say, well, I'm there. Do it over a month, 6 months, whatever you feel you need to do to get there. If your main focus is to eventually become 100% raw, just take your time to gradually change things in. Everybody's at a different step in their life. Everyone's got different lifestyles. You take your time to get to the level where you're at. Okay, and so once we've started to do that, then start to have fully raw days. Even if you start off just having 1 day a week, and then you might slowly move into 2 and then 3. This is how I did it. Once I started moving into 3, it was really funny. I hit this point and I said, you know what? I just want to eat raw. I was really craving eating the raw food, and I just started to keep going. Remembering when you're eating raw food at night, I suggest having a really big salad. Now, I have a huge salad, like the whole bowl could fit over my head, and it's full of salad. It's something that you'd serve 6 to 8 people, but I'm having it for me. I still have overt fats probably about 3 to 4 times a week. I enjoy them. I realise it may, before I have this completely slim body that you see that people post all the time, I realise that might take that little bit longer, but for me it's never been about that anyway. I've never been running down the streets in my bikinis anyway, so that's not an issue for me. It's more important for me to stay raw, and I enjoy having a salad at night with some form of fat on it. It just makes the salad more enjoyable. But I had a beautiful salad the other day, and this has become my new addiction, and it's made it a lot easier for me to not have the fats every night. And that's with mango and tomato. I'll put a pic up so you can see what it is. Have a look on my Instagram page. I posted the recipe on there. It's just to die for. It was so good. It's like a mango salsa in there with chunks of tomato and mango and all my greens in there. It was so good. So yeah, that's how you do it. So, bit by bit, slowly wean yourself in. Okay, after that, this is my 9th step. Take as much knowledge as you can from people, and it's really important, but ultimately I think it's so important to do your own research and listen to your own body and do what's best for you. I think you all know, most people know this when you're out in social media. There's always everybody who knows everything, and you take bits and pieces from people and discard what you don't want to use. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your body. You've got to live with whatever choices you make, and you do what's best for you. And don't let other people make you feel like you're doing things wrong. If you're feeling great with where you're at and what you're doing, you do it. I know there's some people that say they don't freeze food. There's other people that say they don't dehydrate. There's other people that, say they don't eat any fats or whatever. And there's all different things, and there's no right or wrong. That's great if it works for you. But I think it's really important, especially when you're transitioning into this lifestyle, which I'm still transitioning into this lifestyle. I am eating fully raw, but I'm working out what's working best for my body. And sure, I listen to people, but ultimately I'm going to do what's best for me. I've been healthy for six years now, and I've worked in the health and nutrition industry for 6 years, and I've heard a million things from a million different people, and I've read a million books on a million different health topics, and that's the way I always work things out for me. I work things out what's best for me. I revolve my life around studying nutrition, and ultimately that's where I've got myself to where I am now, because I believe the more you research and the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you'll work out what's best for you and your body. I hope that makes sense. Number 10, keep a journal. You're probably thinking, why do I want to keep a journal? I'll tell you why you need to keep a journal, because you'll be surprised how much you can change in such a short span of time. And especially if you're extremely new to being healthy, full stop, work out the little triggers. Not much triggers me anymore on anything, because when my mindset's set to go somewhere, I just do it, because I've made so many adjustments to my own life. I would say in the last 9 years, 9 years ago was when I gave up drinking, and now I'm where I'm at now. So it's been like this huge growth period in my life, and I'm always, yes, that's where I'm going and that's it. But that's because I've had to go over so many milestones and dips along the way to get where I am. But it's nice to have a journal, because you can start looking at the different things that might be triggering you to eat different foods or go back to your old habits and things like that. And you might be able to flick through the journal and say, hang on, that happened last time I had that. And that they might be certain foods or certain people, certain reactions to certain things that you have to watch out for. I think journals are just a great thing. That's a personal choice. It's just something I thought I'd throw in there. Now, take photos of yourself. You don't have to share them if you don't want. If you want to start an Instagram page or Facebook page with them, go for it. If you want to post them in my Raw page, to keep you going for motivation, go for it. But, they can just be a personal thing too. I think it's great to see how you're going. Sometimes our body can move so differently, and we don't take too much notice of the small changes in us, and it can be quite defeating. But if we start looking at those different things and say, hang on, I've improved this, and it might even be you're looking at your hair's all of a sudden a bit shinier, or your eyes are looking clearer, or your skin's looking clearer, or you even that twinkle in your eye because you're happier. These kind of things are just as important to look at as the big major things, and these are the little milestones that keep us going. Take your measurements if you're doing it as a sort of a weight loss thing. I think measurements are great, because especially if you, I hate scales. I've worked in the weight loss industry for so many years. I've seen lots of women do weird and wonderful, crazy things when scales are around. Yes, scales are a great indicator, but our body fluctuates so often too that it's not always the truest indication. Measurements are fantastic. They're a great indication of how we're going. And I think as well, if you're exercising and you're building muscle, sometimes the scales aren't always our best friends, whereas measurements are. So I'm a big fan of measurements. And yeah, they were just my little things I wanted to just throw in there. Now, power of the mind, number 11. Your mind is so powerful. If you continually tell yourself you can't do something, you're not going to do it. But if you tell yourself all the time that you can do something, you'll be surprised that you'll be able to do anything that you put your heart and soul and head into. So I think it's so important. I get up every morning, I say, right, I'm eating raw, let's do this. And I have done that my whole life since being on this health, since the day I gave up drinking, and I was a very heavy drinker, to where I am now. I've always just said, well, I'm going to do this. I can do this. And I have had negative times in my life. My life has not been perfect for 9 years. And at those times when I feel that negativity coming in, that's when I achieve the least. But when I've got that positive outlook on everything, and I don't stress the small things, I just take each day as it comes, that's when great things happen to me. Now, number 12, drop the all or nothing mentality. I hate the all or nothing mentality. I'm either all in or all out. No, we don't have to be all in or all out. We can be half in, half, If you can't eat 100% raw, don't eat 100% raw. Eat 80% raw. Look, if you weren't eating any raw at all before you watch this video, and you start eating 5% of your diet raw, well, you're improving, aren't you? So don't hold yourself back, and or if you slip off the perch, if you've been 100% and you slip off the perch and you say, oh, well, I've muffed it, oh, well, I'll just keep eating whatever I feel like. No, we don't need to have that mentality and say, well, okay, perhaps I needed to have a little bit of cooked food, now I'm going to move back into eating raw again, or bulking up my meals more with raw food. Just don't ever have a drop the all or nothing mentality. Oh, it puts you on a path to complete failure and this roundabout that you never get off. They're basically my little tips for changing over to a raw life. One last thing before I finish, don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's your journey, nobody else's. Nobody else knows what you're going through, and we don't know what anyone else has gone through in order for them to get where they are. So, they're my tips. Keep going. Be proud of yourself each day with each achievement that you make, getting you closer to the health goals that you're trying to reach. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my other social media things. Don't forget to join my Raw group. It's lovely being here. I'll see you soon.